Hi class, in this video I want to show you how you might use a mood board because you're going to be using yours in the next couple of weeks to create a logo, and also because I think it will help you think about how to make a mood board and what it's used for. So as I said in the previous lecture, this is a mood board that a student created previously, and when using that mood board to create a logo or a design asset, we're not actually going to pull the images directly from this. We're just going to be sort of inspired by the mood board. So one thing I see here that speaks to me as sort of being a nice design element that we can use as inspiration is the circles. So if I'm designing a logo for this organization, I might kind of use that idea of the circles that comes from this paint image right here to make a design and come up with a logo. So maybe I do something like make circles that have different colors like those little paint palettes do. So you can see the paint palettes kind of go from yellow to orange to purple to blue. So we're going to have the same kind of effect where we change colors. We're going to go to purple, and then we're going to go, let's just kind of go to blue from here. I want a prettier blue. Just kind of like a purple color. So maybe I try to make a logo where I use this repetition of circles as inspiration for my logo. Okay, so maybe that's part of my logo. And then I kind of revisit the mood board for types. So in this mood board, I see a lot of handwritten types. So we're going to try, I forget the name of this organization. Let's say it's David Owsley Family Days. So I'm going to look for a font that is more of that sort of cute handwritten style. That's kind of cute, marketing script. I think I can do better, but for right now, let's use that. And then maybe I use the idea of making that font, more cutesy like this, where the font is a color and it just is a little bit more playful. So then I'm going to change the color of this. Let's make it yellow. No, yellow's gonna be hard to see. Maybe like a color that would go along with the paint swatches. Okay, so family, fun. Let's go back to our mood board and sort of see what fonts we have there that are going to make this sort of seem more fun. And use some of the ideas of the fonts from the mood board. Okay, now what's interesting about this font is it's a little bit transparent, so let's make this a little transparent so we can see family behind it. Okay, so I'm just using some of the concepts from this mood board. I think the circles are way too big, so let's make those smaller. And actually, instead of having a brick of them, let's do something a little different and maybe make a line out of them, like that. And I don't like it on the sides, so let's turn it and put it here. Okay. And you can see that I'm creating something that is loosely based on this mood board. It has the same kind of effect as the mood board. It has the same connotations, and I'm just pulling some of the design elements from the mood board into my logo. So I've got that idea of circles. Now maybe I don't like circles. Maybe I want to use this arrow concept. So I'm going to draw an arrow. And don't worry, you're not using Illustrator this week. You're going to learn Illustrator before you have to make these. I just want to show you an example of how to use the mood board so you can get an idea of what it's for. Okay, so then I bring in my arrows. I like the arrows a lot better than the circles. What happens when we make them the same colors as the circles? Okay, so that's looking pretty cute, and you can see the relationship between this and the mood board we're seeing over here. Now I'm not seeing those darker colors like the burgundy, but we have a little bit more we need to put in here. We need to put David Owsley. because it's not just family fun, it's David Owsley, family fun at the David Owsley Museum. Oops. So let's make this, I don't really have a font over here on the mood board that I think is really appropriate for this. We've already used a fun script for family font, so I'm gonna pick something a little more serious. Should I do a railway on here? Yeah. And let's make that burgundy. Okay, so I've made a little logo that embodies the spirit of the mood board without using the actual images from the mood board. It uses the similar shapes, it uses similar colors, similar type, but I'm really using this mood board as inspiration rather than pulling directly from it. And you can see that I have some textures here, like I have a watercolor texture. I could even bring that into it. So let me find a watercolor texture. Okay, so there's my logo that is based off of that mood board. Now again, don't worry about everything that I did in Illustrator. This video is not about you having to watch the tools in Illustrator to see what I do. It's about showing how to use the mood board to create a logo. So we're gonna get to Illustrator. If when I was using Illustrator, your eye was kind of going, oh my gosh, what is she doing? She's doing so many things. Don't worry about it because you're gonna learn how to do those things as well. But I wanted you to see how a mood board can influence the design of a logo or any other kind of design.